Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is February 18th, 2020. I'm trying something new. I'm trying to see if I can create the video and post within a day or two because I've been taking forever to really record and make these videos. Right now the journey that we're on is through the body, the spirit, and the seven chakras. I'm going to do my best to take a very basic approach to this subject because this is a subject that if we really dig into it, if you're in the introductory phase of learning about the chakras, if I dig too deep into it, I might lose you. So I'm going to do my best to associate the seven chakras with everyday life and the human body. So be patient with me, and we are going to get started right now. So let me just start with a brief intro. As we all know, we are human. We have a human body. Within that human body, we have different elements or auras. Auras meaning energetic bodies. You have your emotional, your mental, your physical, to name the basic three. To make it real basic, mind, body, and spirit. In other words, the human body has these energy centers. There are thousands of energy centers within our bodies. However, for basic spirituality, the focus is usually on the seven, starting from the base of the spine to the top of the head. These seven chakras carry with them energetic pulses. They connect to specific hormonal glands within our bodies, which forces us to act and react to certain things differently. I'm just reading over my notes. A brief understanding of your aura. Your aura is pretty much your external subtle energy body. There are 7 layers of aura within the 7 chakras, which range from our physical touch sensation all the way to that intuitive part of us that we can't quite see, smell, taste, but we can feel. That your aura is pretty much those 7 expansions of self where we interact with this world, we interact with this reality. If you're someone who's balanced, then you can connect to your intuitive aura, which is connected to your 6th chakra, which is your third eye, and you can literally see things in this realm that most people cannot see. And we'll dig deeper into the 6th chakra, the third eye, because that's a place where a lot of us lose ourselves as we start learning about the 7 chakras and we start learning about ourselves. It's a very exciting place if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then you can go as far as suffering from mental illnesses if you start opening yourself too much in that realm, in that element. So let's just get started from the bottom up. Excuse me. We're going to start at the base of our spine, which is where our first chakra is located. This chakra is associated with the color red, and it is connected to the element of earth, literally our physical earth that we are inside of. It represents our physical body. It deals with issues dealing with sexuality, lust, and obsession. This first chakra deals on a physical level with survival. It deals with our basic needs, our body's basic needs for food, water, shelter, safety, protection. It deals with our reproductive system. It connects to the 2nd chakra, which helps us alleviate some of the pains that goes with growing and changing in our physical bodies. The first chakra is located between the anus and the genitals. It opens downwards, receiving energy from the planet Earth itself. In in a balance situation, this chakra is a grounding energy which helps us to stay calm and connect with our world. We're able to create in our physical world in a more sensible manner, meaning, that Ariana Grande song, I Want It, I Got It. Literally, it's that. Like, when your first chakra is balanced and you're grounded to yourself, your environment, your situation, whatever it may be, you have that liberty and that freedom to go out into the world and create from a place of comfort. You're not forcing yourself to be what you're not. You're not forcing yourself to pretend with the world. You are who you are, and that's all there is to it. You don't need to budge left or right to make anyone comfortable, because each person that comes into your circumference of energy, your aura, connects with you in a way where they respect who you are. They understand who you are upon meeting you. What do they call that? First impression. When you're grounded and you're balanced, someone may not like you, but their first impression of you would be, I don't think I'll get along with this person for whatever reason. I can't really put my finger on it, but I have a sense of respect for them. That's a balanced first chakra. When your first chakra is not balanced, you're shaky, you're unstable, nothing works for you. Most people and I'm speaking for myself, a few years back, I've experienced this. An imbalanced first chakra. Remember, the first chakra deals with survival. Survival deals with your ability to work, make money, provide for yourself, purchase the things that you need and want, feed, shelter, protect yourself. So when your first chakra is in balance, you find it very difficult to get aligned in this reality, meaning that you can't keep a job. You can't find a way to make steady income. You're either always moving or changing your address. There's something that is very unstable about your physical environment, and this first chakra, when it's imbalanced and unstable, connects to the higher chakras and creates a chaotic person. We'll get into that more, but let me just continue. Like I said, on a physical level, the first chakra connects us with our sexuality. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. You can be heterosexual, homosexual, it doesn't matter. What it does connect you with is your ability to express your sexuality in a healthy manner. A balanced first chakra, you know what you want in the bedroom, and you're not afraid to create that with your partner or with yourself, whatever your situation may be. An imbalanced first chakra, you're always looking for someone to fulfill you versus you looking to create a world with someone where you're fulfilling. It's a give and take relationship. It's a 50-50 relationship. That would be the difference between a balanced first chakra and an imbalanced first chakra. On a mental level, the first chakra connects us with stability. Remember, it's about grounding, it's about providing for ourselves, it's about surviving. On an emotional level, the first chakra connects us to our sensuality, which, if you know anything, if you are of age and you know anything about sexuality, you know sexuality and sensuality, a healthy sexual lifestyle goes hand in hand. An unhealthy or imbalanced sexual lifestyle, there is no sensuality. Everyone is just humping like dogs, in other words. Forgive me. But in a healthy environment, your sexuality is connected to your sensuality. There is passion. There's fire. There's longevity. There's stability. There's an understanding that this is an activity that brings pleasure not just to myself because I'm the one participating in it, but it's a mutual understanding. We share this experience together. We share these moments, and they balance and build and strengthen our relationship. That's on an emotional level and a physical level with the first chakra. And on a spiritual level, a balanced chakra provides us with security. We feel, like I said, we go out into the world knowing who we are, and we don't have to budge to change. You ever seen those people where if you pay attention to them, sometimes they seem like they have like 50 to 100 personality types depending on who they're around. That is someone with an imbalanced first chakra. They don't know if they're coming or going. If the crowd likes red, they like red. If the crowd hates red, they hate red. A person like that is a person that needs valuable time alone to get to know who they really are so that they can start building themselves. Because the one thing I've noticed in this journey of mine is, I might sound crazy for saying this, but it's true. I only speak from experience. Life is fun regardless if you're enjoying it or not. I'll repeat that as I go into the second chakra. Life is fun regardless if you're enjoying it or not. And my reason for saying that is you'll have two individuals. One is suffering from depression. The other one has their life together. They're building, they're creating, they're moving in this world as they should, right? Regardless of what either one is going through or have going on, life within this reality is still fun. It's still an adventure to be had. The depressed person may find it hard to connect with reality and go on about their day to day. However, in the long run, if he or she does their homework on themselves, they find a way to rebuild and continue their growth process in order to rejoin society and move away from the depressive state. In the same breath, the counterpartner who is enjoying their lives, having fun, building, creating, they're doing that continuously. And once that depressed person gets out of that funk, they're then joining the counterpartner who is having the fun and realizing, wow, I spent all this time being depressed, or I spent all this time in this blue state of being, and the whole time everyone around me continued building and doing what they had to do. That's what I mean by life is fun regardless if you're enjoying it or not. Like, the stage that we're on is still like Disney World, regardless if you're getting on the rides or not. You could be just walking around Disney World bored to death, or you could be getting on the rides, enjoying life, going into the gift stores, doing what you need to do. That's pretty much what I meant by life is fun regardless if you're enjoying it or not, right? Which takes us into the second chakra, which is called the sacral chakra. Now, this chakra is a very important chakra. This energy center, along with, I would say, along with the heart and the third eye, the sacral chakra is one of the most important chakras. This chakra is located below our navel center, right below your navel, right? It is the color orange. It connects to water. It connects us to our emotions. Now, if you know anything about the emotional body, the moment someone tells you this connects to your emotions, you should immediately pay attention, because this is what is that saying? Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react. The sacral chakra is that 90%, because majority of the time when we ruin our lives is based on our emotional reaction to something. Something happens to us, we don't like the way it happened, or we're confused about the way it happened, and we immediately react emotionally. It could be outright violence, it could be frustration. Whatever emotion you're putting out is coming from this energy center. Now, the issues with this energy center deals with the relationships that we have. Relationships, not simply romantic relationships, but relationships meaning literally relationships, professional relationships, business relationships, friendships, relationships with your children if you have them, with your partners if you have them, relationships with your neighbors, literally relationships, how we correspond, correlate, connect to other human beings. All of that falls into the second chakra, the sacral chakra. The problems we encounter when we're dealing with the sacral chakra is in relationships, depending on how they go, we may react with violence. Violence meaning verbal or physical, non-verbal, passive aggressiveness, all of that is violent, right? And then this leads to addiction. A closed or imbalanced sacral chakra will have you addicted to the worst things in the world. If you're single, depending on the type of life you've had, you may be addicted to sadness if you had a hard childhood and you might not even know it. You might be going through life always finding something to be down or depressed about and never connecting it with your sacral chakra. Now, I didn't talk about this with the base chakra. The base chakra starts to develop the moment we are in our mother's womb. The sacral chakra starts to develop, I believe, within months of us growing in the womb, and it continues to develop into months after we're born. So this is something that when you start to learn more about the chakras and you start to really get into these terms and how they're not just like fluffy words, they're not just like fantasy states of being, they're real facts, they're real I'm trying to find the word to describe it, like they're real things that affect us. It's just when we're in school, we're not taught these things. So we just go about our lives in like a zombie state of being. And when we start to wake up on a spiritual level, that's when we're able to see like, wow, I've heard people talk about this, but I've never related it to my life. And now I can see how since the time your parents laid together in that bed to create you, your 7 chakras, your basic 7 chakras have been developing. And depending on how you were treated in the womb, as a baby, as a toddler, as a child, as a teen, and then how you treat yourself as a young adult and then an adult, all of that goes into play in regards to if your chakras are balanced or imbalanced, if they're open or closed, right? Now, the sacral chakra deals with our feelings. Emotions and feelings go hand in hand, right? The physical activity or actions of the sacral chakra is our reproduction. Remember I told you the first and second chakras are connected, where the first chakra connects us to our sexuality. The second chakra connects us to our ability to reproduce in a healthy manner, meaning not creating generational curses on this planet, creating healthy children that we made plans to have, in other words, because a lot of children running around this planet really weren't planned for. I'm one of them. I call us love children. I'm a love child. No one planned for my existence. I'm just a surprise. Hi, I'm here. Deal with me. Let me do my journey so I can keep going with my life. I'm one of those people, and I've learned because there's a difference between when a child is planned and when a child is not planned. Most of us surprise babies, love babies. When we pop up on this planet, in more ways than one, it's like there was no space for us. We have to kind of make that space for ourselves, and it becomes a very painful space to be in. And that goes in with your sacral chakra, because a closed sacral chakra will have, I will give you an example, not to veer away from the spirituality, but to give you a more way of understanding this in day-to-day existence. When you look at Hollywood, Hollywood is filled with three, in my opinion, three levels of people. You have the sharks, which are the top executives, the top actors, the top entertainers, the ones who eat first, the Brad Pitts, the Tom Cruises, the Halle Berrys, those people. Then you have the I would call them the mediocre, the not mediocre. They are like the salmon and the tuna. I'm trying to find a word to describe that. Like, they're not the biggest or toughest fish in the sea, but they're big and, they're tough. The medium people, right? And those would be like the probably the everyday celebrities that we follow, the Gabrielle Unions, the Issa Rays, the people that are establishing themselves, that it's taken them a little longer to establish themselves in the sea of Hollywood, right? And then you have the feeder fish, which would be these individuals who go into Hollywood not really getting how tough, that sea can be, and they just go in there and try to be as big as the sharks or the tunas and salmons, and they get eaten alive. We see this every day with the Black Chinas and all these other quote unquote celebrities that their lives just fall apart before our eyes. Now, what would you say the difference between those three layers of people would be? Personally speaking, I'm going to focus on the feeder fish, the Black Chinas and all these reality people that are like failing at celebrity lifestyles, right? Those are the people who, they're not that in tune with themselves to know and understand the mistakes that they're making every day within their lives. And majority of the feeder fish celebrities, they fall under an imbalance or a closed sacral chakra. They express themselves to the world in the most violent, emotional ways. I don't know if you ever look at some of these celebrities and go, my God, how is it like to be around you, like on a day-to-day basis? Because you don't fully understand what it means to be a human and what it means to be alive. Like those type of people, they lash out, they go crazy if things don't go there. Like, they have no real grasp on this reality and how we're each just taking a small amount of space for ourselves. And I mean that. Like, you can name the biggest celebrity that you want to the smallest human being in this world. Regardless of how much material wealth you have, whatever you have, we're also just taking a small amount of space in this reality for ourselves to create and go about doing what we want to do. So when you see those people and they're violent, they're reacting to life in a way that just makes no sense, you can understand, wow, your sacral chakra is either blocked or closed or imbalanced, and you don't know how to deal with your feelings, you don't know how to deal with your emotions, and therefore you're lashing out at the reality. Literally, you're lashing out at people around you, the reality. You don't put blame on yourself. Most of the blame is being projected out into the world as if the world is the problem. Those people, because in a balanced sacral chakra, you're connected to your creativity. You have the ability to create. So what I mean by that is, okay, let's use YouTube as a platform. There's a lot of successful people on YouTube, right? There's a lot of people that have experienced so much success on YouTube. And the only reason that they were able to do this is because of their connection to their sacral chakra. If you're not connected to your sacral chakra, you can have all the equipment. Let's say you want to start a YouTube channel. You can have all the equipment, the best camera, lighting, the space to actually create, and you're stuck. You don't know what to do. You don't even know, like, you can't even begin to fathom how to start your channel. And when you sit with yourself and you think with yourself, you realize you have so many great interests in this world. You just don't know how to align them to create a platform for yourself. That is someone who has a blocked or imbalanced sacral chakra, because if your sacral chakra is balanced, the creativity flows. For example, like myself, I love the my three favorite loves in this world. Number one, spirituality. Number two is business. And number three is living frugally. Those are my three favorite things in this world. I love spirituality. I love the journey. I love getting to know and understanding myself. I love business, money, and finance. And then I also love to live on a very minimalist level. So I try to create a platform to help other people on those three things that I'm interested in. And when I get into my creative flow, my juices go. Like, I literally have to stop myself from working. That's someone who has a balanced and connected sacral chakra, versus I know the three things I'm really interested in, and I'm doing videos about makeup and hair. That's the disconnect is real. So if that helps you understand. Now, the emotional side of the sacral chakra is joy. This brings us back to our feeder fish celebrities. If you ever notice, because they never get a grasp on reality, they never get a grasp on their lives. And this can go for everyday people too, the people in our neighborhoods, our family members. They never experience joy. People like that always associate joy with materialistic possessions. I don't have enough money, so I can't be happy. I don't have a car, so I can't be happy. I don't have a job, so I can't be happy. My sister just bought a 6-bedroom house. I live in an apartment, so I can't be happy. These are the things that are imbalanced when it comes to the sacral chakra. Connecting the outside world to your inside world in a very disharmonious manner disconnects you from joy. You can't experience the simple, I woke up this morning, I exercised, I took a shower, I had a healthy breakfast, I'm about to log on to my computer, do what I need to do, and go from there. Like, simple joys. And these are the first stages to actually building and strengthening your sacral chakra. Just simple. You don't have to have the best, the greatest, the most of the world. You simply have to respect what you have and enjoy it. You can be in a tiny efficiency apartment with 4 children. As long as you guys are laughing and joking and enjoying life, then you're experiencing joy, and that opens the door for you to move into that bigger home, because the universe will open itself to you. And this is something, as I'm saying it, I'm literally listening to myself like, you need to practice that more, because I do find myself looking at my life situation like, here you are speaking so much on spirituality, on happiness and growth and all this, but tapping your hand, you don't practice what you preach most of the time. So you really need to listen to yourself as you're talking and start practicing what you preach, because it's true. The universe will open up to those who express more gratitude and joy for what they currently have. Because, call it whatever you want, the universe, God, Christ, whatever, Buddha, whatever you want, Muhammad, the universe, the divine, that collective part of us that is all together knows what we want and need out of life. But the only thing I feel that disconnects us from getting to what we want out of life is the fact that we don't currently appreciate what we have. Because, like that quote say, what you are complaining about, someone else is wishing they had. Like that mother of 4 who lives in that efficiency and hates that life, a homeless mother may be praying that they could live in such a place. So you always have to be grateful for what you have, which leads us to the spiritual side of the sacral chakra, which is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is like gasoline for the body, for the mind. It's literally like gasoline. When you're enthusiastic about something, spiritually, you're able to tap into your mental creative space and experience the emotional joy and have the physical healthy relationship with everyone around you, so that you're not in a place of hurt, in a place of emotional depression, or in a place of blame or victimization. That's pretty much the sacral chakra. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. We're going to move into the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. Now this chakra is located above the navel area. It is the color yellow. It connects to the element of fire and our drive and our will. Now, if your first chakra is balanced, then physically, you might not have everything you want, but you at least have the necessities that you need to survive in this world, right? And using the sacral chakra, you can use your creativity to bring about the things that you want. Now, the third chakra, now, this is the chakra of your drive and your will. In the second chakra, we're using creativity, right? And when we're spiritually balanced, we're enthusiastic, right? Now, when you connect your second chakra to your third chakra, that enthusiasm sparks your drive and your will. Now, with your drive and your will sparked, you have the ability to create, to expand, to grow. Now, pause for a moment. What are the issues with the third chakra? Well, the issues with the third chakra are self-esteem issues, power issues, fear and anxiety, and introversion, meaning self-esteem. Your self-esteem goes hand in hand with your lower chakras. If you're imbalanced from the base, your self-esteem will be crushed by the time you start reaching your third chakra, right? Your third chakra deals with your drive and your will, what leads you to, if you really open your eye and look, it leads you to see your personal power. Now, depending on who you are, personal power can become something that is I'm trying to find the right word. Personal power can become something that is a tool that you use to corrupt or victimize others in relationships, business deals, everyday interactions with people. When someone comes to terms with their personal power, a lot of the times they get very ruthless and heartless. You know who this reminds me of? Madoff, the dude that has 150 years of prison sentence because of the corruption that he did on Wall Street with the SEC. I don't know the details of his life, but I remember he got 150 years of prison sentencing because he just was such a corrupt human being that he stole from tens of thousands of people, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's this person corrupting their personal power. They really took advantage of their personal power and expelled it out into the reality that we are all sharing, right? Now, the next issue would be fear. A weak self-esteem leads to fear and anxiety, leads to introversion. Not saying that introverts or those who suffer from anxiety have weak self-esteem. I'm saying a weak self-esteem leads to those things. Now, myself, I'm an introvert and an extrovert. Most people are. Depending on who you are and who you're around, if you're around strangers a lot of the time, you find yourself being more introverted, where you don't talk too much, you don't socialize too much. If you're someone who's around people, the same group of people, regardless if it's business, personal, pleasure, your circle's pretty small. You work around the same people, you hang around the same people, you party with the same people. You find yourself being more extroverted because you're comfortable. Excuse me, 9 times out of 10, if you're taken out of that comfort zone, boom, you become an introvert. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make you understand that a lack of self-esteem does not mean that you have these things, but it does lead to being fearful of the world, experiencing anxiety, and becoming an introvert, closing yourself in. What is the counter to all of these issues? Well, internally, in your third chakra, dealing with your drive and your will, you have a positive opinion about yourself. Now, we live in a very materialistic world right now. We live in the selfie world right now where everyone feels like they're so important. Everyone's a celebrity. Everyone has something to do. Everyone has somewhere to go. No one has time for anyone else, right? Regardless of all of that that's going on, your personal opinion of yourself should not suffer because of what you see the world outside of you is doing. If you're someone who is on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube watching other people a lot, this can affect your third chakra. This can cause that energy center to get diminished and you to suffer. And a key note with the chakras, when one suffers, they all suffer. And this can go from bottom to top or top to bottom. If your third chakra is being affected because of all the stuff you're seeing on social media, it's affecting your sacral chakra and it's going up into your fourth chakra and above. You understand? So you have to, in this world that we live in of self-responsibility, you really have to be responsible for yourself. If following all those celebrities and watching their lavish lifestyles affect you in a negative way, and you would know if it affects you in a negative way based on your first reaction. That's that unconscious reaction. If you see, for example, if you see your favorite male or female celebrity, your first reaction is, ugh, stop following that person for a while, because there's something about their lifestyle that's affecting you. And if you're not careful, that carries forward into everywhere, every aspect of your life, right? Now, physically, our third chakra affects our digestive system. Now, this is important to know because if you study spirituality and you study the human body, you know that we have three brains. We have the brain in our head, which is divided into two hemispheres. We have the brain in our heart, which suffers a lot in this reality. And then we have the brain in our gut. The third chakra connects to the brain in your gut. What is this brain in your gut? Those butterflies that you ever go into a situation or go around a group of people or a person and you get that like instant punched in the gut, like someone just like, oh, hits your gut, and you're just like, where did that feeling come from? That is that brain telling you, not a good situation. Back up, get out of here. This is not safe for you. And a lot of the times we run towards that danger. When our bodies give us that danger, alert in our gut, in our digestive area, in our gut brain, we literally keep going towards that danger. And that is something that you have to come into understanding of, because a healthy digestive system deals with a healthy mental system. And mentally, your third chakra connects to your power. This is my new favorite person in the world, Lakeith. He's an actor. He did Sorry for Bothering You, or Sorry to Bother You, whatever that movie is called. He did that movie, and I went to see that movie, and my first thought was like, wow, what a brave soul. He's a new actor in Hollywood. He really has no history in Hollywood, and for him to do such a movie is crazy. And when I went to go see that movie, I instantly fell in love with the person that he is as a human being, because I saw the vision. Like, he has a vision that deals with him. It deals with his place in the world and the story that he's trying to leave behind. And that's where a lot of us lose ourselves, because we feel like we have to be like these big popular I don't mean to cut myself off, but this just came to my mind. Life, once you leave college or high school, if you don't go to college, life itself is nothing more than a big popularity contest. Literally. If you pay attention, the more we go into our technological advancement, our social advancement, life becomes nothing more than a big popularity contest. And if you fall for that lifestyle, then you suffer greatly. Nothing is ever enough in that lifestyle. And Lakeith, his choices of movies, his choices of expression, his choices of art shows that he's one of those young people that has a vision of who he is. And now that he has that platform and that opportunity and individuals listening to him, he's not taking it for granted, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that he not only enhances his life but enhances the lives of everyone else who's following along in his journey. That's personal power. That's true personal power. That is something with a healthy, balanced solar plexus, third chakra, you're able to do. And you're able to do it from the smallest platform, meaning your friends and family, your neighbors, to the largest platform, meaning being a celebrity or being a influencer, whatever you want to call these big people who do these big things, right? Now, emotionally, your third chakra, your solar plexus, allows you to expand. Remember, emotionally, you express joy with your sacral chakra, and emotionally, you express sensuality with your first chakra. In your third chakra, you're able to expand all of those good, gushy, beautiful, blissful feelings, right? But on the opposite side, if you're imbalanced, you're going to expand all of those negative, icky, disgusting feelings. You understand? And spiritually, your third chakra allows you to grow. It allows you to express growth. Now, we're going to jump right into our fourth chakra, which is a very it's a chakra that is located in the center of your chest. It is called the heart chakra. The reason I pause is because I'm going to do videos in more detail regarding the chakras, but this one here is one that is very sentimental, if you know what I'm talking about. The heart chakra is the color green. It deals with the element of air, and it literally is the breath of life. When we breathe from our heart out, right? Issues related with the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, are issues that deal with passion, tenderness, inner child issues as an adult, and rejection. That's why I pause, because where the third chakra is pretty much our ego chakra, right? It's a healthy ego expresses its personal power and helps everyone around it. The fourth chakra deals with our heart. The fourth chakra deals with unconditional love, not just romantic love or love we have for our children or our parents. It deals with unconditional love, the ability to go out into the world, meet a stranger, and know that I'm grateful you exist, and I know you're grateful I exist. Namaste. My soul recognizes your soul love. You understand? So, with an imbalanced fourth chakra, remember when I talked about the sacral dealing with emotions, and how if as a child you were mistreated, that forces your sacral chakra to become imbalanced or closed. That, and I told you, is the second, fourth, and sixth chakra that I feel that are connected to each other on a strong level. We're at the fourth chakra. The fourth chakra, like I told you, deals with unconditional love. It deals with compassion. So if you were someone who was mistreated, either in this world, either in this by your family, friends, by loved ones, then your heart chakra could be closed. Your heart chakra being closed deals with a lot of pain and suffering, and it takes a lot of effort to clear all of that out to get to the love side of existence. And the love side of existence does not always deal with romance. The fourth chakra, in my opinion, deals more with personal love, love of self. Remember, the second chakra deals with addiction. The fourth chakra fuels that addiction. If you are someone as an adult who suffers a lot from inner child issues, unresolved issues, like right now the platform is open where many of us are talking about narcissistic relationships with human beings who literally just don't care about anyone but themselves, right? And a lot of us as children suffered from such relationships. The fourth chakra and the second chakra are connected in that relationship, meaning where if you were a child who suffered from a narcissistic parent, your heart closed at a very young age. Now, with that heart closing, as an adult, that leads you to be in a lot of broken relationships. Some of them even become abusive, either verbally, passive aggressively, or physically. You understand? The way you deal with that and the way you heal with that, it's hard in the beginning, but once you have done all the work, you start realizing, I got this, right? The first step to healing your heart chakra is one, literally looking in the mirror and acknowledging yourself. I suffered from this for a very long time where even though I know I'm beautiful, even though I know, physically I'm attractive, when I would pass in front of a mirror, the inner me would not acknowledge the outer me. And I realized that was from a lot of hard emotional relationships that I had as a child, not as an adult. As an adult, I've been grateful enough to make the right decisions when it comes to a partner, to not run towards that frequency that my consciousness was so accustomed to. I went opposite of that, right? And by not acknowledging myself, I kept reinforcing that inner turmoil relationship that I had with my inner child, until finally I made a video about this and I'll link it, where when I was talking about being powerful within yourself and loving yourself, I said sometimes you just have to like stare at yourself in the mirror, and not in a narcissistic type of way, but literally in a way to say, hi self, I acknowledge you. I know you exist. And remember, we are spiritual beings, we're emotional beings. Each, in my opinion, each of those auras, each of these chakras that we're going through, at least for me, they each have their own like physical appearance, depending on if they're balanced or hurt, if they're blocked or open. My heart chakra right now is very open and balanced, so I'm able to give love and receive love, not just romantic love. But before, when it was closed, she was ugly. Like, she was dark. She wore black all the time. She was like an emo. Like, she was really not into this world. You couldn't tell her anything about this world. This world was cruel. Everyone in it sucked. But doing all my work and coming to terms with the fact that the stuff that happened to me was not really my fault, because majority of the evil and negative things that happened to me were while I was under the age of 10, situations where I had no real control over. And coming to terms with that, I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to do something that I was never taught, and that's something that a lot of us are going through right now when it comes to the heart chakra. You have to learn to love yourself. I don't care if you're overweight, if you're underweight, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're purple, if you have 3 eyes, 1 breast, 1 butt cheek. I don't care. You have to learn to love yourself. And that includes cutting out a lot of addictive behavior patterns that have been attached to you along the way. Because a lot of the times, the behaviors, the emotions, the thoughts, all those things that are attached to us are literally like if you were buried alive, they each represent a layer of dirt that's on top of you. And when you start digging yourself out of that hole and you see yourself for the first time, you'd be surprised that even the ones who gave birth to you, who you tell you love every day, won't recognize you. They'll probably say to you, you're not being yourself, quote unquote. when really you're, for the first time, you're being yourself. So this is what the fourth chakra deals with. Unconditional love. You can only love others if you're able to love yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone around you. I don't care how you think you're expressing love, that's not love. You understand? Now, physically, the fourth chakra deals with our circulatory system. Remember, it connects with the element of air, the breath of life. So when you're working with your fourth chakra, breathe. Because if you notice, when you're scared, when you're anxious, when you're having any of those negative feelings, the first thing that gets cut is your breath. The first thing that gets cut is your breath. And then you break into sweat because your body's like, so we're not doing the living thing anymore. And then you realize, oh crap, I'm not breathing, and you start taking those deep breaths again. That's the heart chakra. When you were a teen and you were coming across someone you quote unquote had a crush on, the first chakra to react to that was your heart chakra or your gut chakra, your sacral chakra or your heart chakra. Your heart chakra either beat out of control, boom, 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 or you felt butterflies in your gut chakra, your sacral chakra. So you could see the correlation between the two. And mentally, this chakra deals with passion and compassion. When you're balanced in your fourth chakra, you're able to express passion and compassion with yourself. And let me tell you, passion and compassion for self is a beautiful thing. Passion and compassion for self. You won't need to go to the mall and purchase all that crap that other people need to purchase to feel important. You'll grab some clay, make yourself a mask your face, make your face pretty, and go about your life. You'll have your sweats and your sneakers and your t-shirt and feel as if you're wearing a $10 million outfit. You'll be driving in your 10-15-year-old car and feel like you're driving in the latest Bentley. Why? Because you know I'm doing everything I can within my power to improve my situation, but I am going to take that time out in this present now and enjoy my life. I'm not going to look at someone else and what they may have and compare myself to them, because we are two different people. That's that. Oh, it feels so good, guys. It feels so good when you really like dig past all that hurt, all that baggage, all that nasty stuff, and get into you and feel you and understand, even though I came from these people, even though I am around these people all the time, they could not have known who I am because I did not know who I am. And now that I know who I am, oh, it's on. I'm about to show you guys how amazing I am. And it's not in a narcissistic way, but it's in the most healthiest way possible, because I say that because when we're 100, the people that we attract around us are also 100. So do an inventory. Take a look around you. Take a look at the people you keep around you. Take a look at their relationships. Take a look at how they interact with themselves and the world. Are they 100, or are they a whole bunch of broken people? If you are around a whole bunch of broken people, turn that mirror back at you and know that you are broken, which is why you're caught up in all these broken relationships. When you're 100 and your soul and your spirit are being allowed to express themselves the way you are, the person you are, believe you me, you will be around nothing but 100s. You can't be a 10 hanging around a 3. You'll be around nothing but other 10s, okay? Emotionally, in the fourth chakra, we express love. Spiritually, we express devotion. And devotion goes far. When I do the more in-depth, I realize this video is getting very long and I have 3 more chakras to go through. So when I do the more in-depth chakra breakdown, I'll get into more details. But like I said, this is like to help you understand how your energy centers are affected, are attacked, are blocked through everyday interactions with the world. This is a decade of, if it does not make you happy, stop doing it. And I know a lot of us have careers, we have jobs, we have families, we have relationships that we're in. But believe you me, if you want to survive to see 10 more decades, if it does not make you happy, if it does not fulfill your heart, stop doing it, because you're just hurting yourself. Okay, we're going into our fifth chakra, and you will understand what I mean by that. Fifth chakra is the throat chakra. It is located between the collarbone and the larynx in the neck. It is a color turquoise, and it deals with the element of sound. When you think of the fifth chakra, think of thunder. Boom, boom, boom. Fifth chakra. Now, the fifth chakra deals with self-expression, communication, and your will. The fifth chakra is closely associated with your third chakra. Remember, your third chakra deals with your drive and your will. When your third chakra is balanced, you speak with authority. You communicate with balance and authority and love from the fourth chakra. When that third chakra is in balance, you're like the size of an elephant squeaking like a baby mouse. Okay, you can always tell someone who has a closed fifth chakra. I experienced that. I will tell you, I experienced that every time I go on an interview for a job, which is why I stopped doing that. The last interview I went on, I'm going to be very honest so you guys can understand what I mean by the chakras connect to your everyday life. Okay, so I had this interview which I prepared for, which I literally didn't have to prepare for because I'm an accountant by profession, so it was literally right up my alley. I knew everything about my profession, so I didn't have to prepare for it, right? But something in the back of my mind was like, it's funny because I was doing the don't freeze from Black Panther to myself all morning. I kept telling myself, and when you get into that interview, don't freeze. So I pull up to the building. My appointment was at 1 o'clock, and when I opened the door to get out of my car, I heard myself say, "Watch me freeze." And I promise you, I went in that interview and I literally felt my throat chakra lock up. By the time that lady had come to call my name to come and talk to her, I went from a very cool, calm, collected, laid back Taurine to this block of ice. I barely remembered my name. I barely remembered my professional history, my work history. She asked me what type of degrees I have. Now, mind you, I have 2 master's degrees and a bachelor's degree. Why couldn't I remember that? I mean, I froze, okay? I froze. I couldn't get it out. I was done, okay? My fifth chakra, my throat chakra was blocked. And you will always know when your fifth chakra is blocked because you will be thirsty. Your throat will be dry. Like, it will hurt. You will be parched, okay? Like, a glass of water will just seem like liquid gold going down your throat. And you might ask, what forces the fifth chakra to shut down in such a manner? It goes back to your third chakra. If you're not feeling secure in your personal power, it grips up. Remember I told you, one chakra gets knocked down, up and down, depending on its location, every other chakra gets affected. And some chakras are more connected to each other than others. And in my opinion, the first, third, and fifth are closely associated, right? So issues with the fifth chakra, self-expression, communication, and the will. Internally, with the balanced fifth chakra, we're able to express ourselves like I'm doing now. This is something that I'm very passionate about. This is something that I really enjoy talking about. So I have to catch myself from talking too much, because originally, like I said, I wanted this video to be like an hour, and I'm running right over an hour right now. So like now I'm having to like tighten my fifth chakra so that I could not like overshare and get to my point. You understand? So I'm in a space of comfort. My first, third, and fifth chakras are balanced right now. I can express myself. I feel comfortable. I'm happy with what I'm doing. that is a balanced fifth chakra. If I was stumbling or I was umming and and like doing that all the time, then that's someone who's not balanced and not connected to their chakras to know how to express themselves. Physically, communication with the fifth chakra, meaning verbal, nonverbal, tech, those text messages, those posts on social media, all of that is dealing with the fifth chakra. Mentally, the fifth chakra allows you to be fluent in your thought, which allows you to express yourself in a very healthy manner. Emotionally, you express independence. You feel free to express yourself. You feel free to connect to others. That I just had that flash in my head. When you don't feel free or fluent in thought, there's like a barrier where you become self-conscious of your current experience, and you're not able to connect with your reality. A balanced fifth chakra knocks that out of the way. You're comfortable, you're flowing, you're enjoying life, and spiritually, the fifth chakra allows you to feel secure, which gives you the platform to then emotionally express independence, mentally express your thoughts fluently, and then physically express all of that internal magic that's going on. We're going to go into the sixth chakra, which is the third eye, which is located at the center of the forehead, the brow, right in between the eyebrows. That's where you know, I'm gonna make this short. They say your third eye is located right in between your eyebrows, but really your third eye is the pineal gland that is literally in the back of your head. So it beams forward from in between your eyebrows, but it's not literally located there. It's located in the back of your head in your pineal gland. It's the color of deep blue or indigo, and it's connected to the element of light. This chakra connects us to our intuition, provides us with emotional clarity, allows us to spiritually meditate. Now, the issues with this chakra is an imbalanced third eye creates a chaotic upper and lower chakra system, meaning because it's so close to the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, an imbalanced third eye forces you to not see what is real. It puts you in a disillusioned state of being, which then messes with every other chakra below it. A balanced third eye, a balanced sixth chakra, allows you to trust your inner guidance, trust your inner self, and it balances your higher selves with your lower selves. You might ask, what are my higher selves and my lower selves? Well, your lower selves are your first three chakras: your base, your sacral, your solar plexus. Your heart chakra is the bridge that connects your higher selves, which are your throat, your third eye, and your crown chakra. A balanced third eye allows you to connect from the basic survival self to the divine higher self. You are balanced, energy is flowing, as above, so below. The way you see yourself in your mind's eye is the way you live in the physical world. This is something I am personally dealing with right now. You ever have that moment where you're like, my thoughts don't match my physical life? Like, I should be rich, I should be this, I should be that, right? I was going through that at the end of last year, and then I went through this space of, I didn't meditate or anything. It's like my divine self connected to my lower self and showed me those things that you're concerning yourself about. Those things you're concerning yourself about. The only way you're going to have those things is by helping others. Do you know how many people that are in your situation where they're either confused about their space in this world, or they're being called by their divine selves to connect and grow, but they don't have the way of expressing it? And by just speaking into a microphone and sharing your story, you'll be able to open doors for such people and yourself, and understand that growth and potential comes from connecting and helping others. You might see it as, what am I doing right now? But later on, you might end up meeting that person that you help along the way. And it reminds me of being a child. Um, when I first started this channel, I wanted to be very like discreet and not share too much about my life. I didn't want to open up too much, which is why I'm still not on camera. I'm going to get on camera, guys. I'm just not ready for it yet. But I was very reserved about my space on YouTube, only because I found myself watching a lot of YouTube channels with like the glamorous people, where everything about YouTube was about how you look, what you have, and all this nonsense. I'm like, well, that's not my world. Even though, you know, I'm a Taurus, I'm ruled by Venus, I'm very materialistic, or blah blah blah, it was still just like not my world. That's not the way I wanted to express myself. And then I I've always, it's been like 15 or 20 years since I've been keeping up with my spiritual side of existence. I've done my birth chart. I started taking classes on reading tarot. I've been doing a lot of things to connect my lower and my divine self, so that I can um, materialize the life that I really want to live, right? And it wasn't until I was just I was doing some note taking from the book that I posted on my previous video regarding the chakras. And then I was like, I asked my husband, what do you think if I did a YouTube channel based on spirituality, but not in the way that I've been witnessing? I'm not going to like give people advice or anything. I'm just going to share my life in a way that might help someone who's listening figure out what it is that they want out of theirs. And he was like, go for it. Just go for it. You never know what may come out of it, so go for it. And I was like, well, I don't want to be on camera, because I don't, you know, I'm very shy. I don't want to be on camera. So he was like, you know what to do. Just do what you have to do. And I tell that story to help to understand the third eye. When you're climbing up that spiritual ladder, when you're stuck in the base chakra of to have, you know, the base chakra deals with survival. The base chakra deals with having, materializing. And you're too focused on having, and you're not focused so much on actualizing. You find yourself not able to move. Reality becomes very rigid in more ways than one. And as you climb up those chakras and you still are imbalanced in your perception of what spirituality really is, because I forgot who said this. One of the people I follow said this. I've never truly met a spiritual millionaire or billionaire. I've met people who are spiritual, who are comfortable with their lifestyle. You know, they don't need for anything. They don't really want for anything. Everything they have, they're satisfied with. But I've never truly met a spiritual billionaire or multi-millionaire. And my reason for saying that is, I'm not speaking on gurus or any of these people. I'm speaking of like someone who is truly trying to help people around them. They hardly like hold on to hoard that which they have. They literally go outside of themselves to try to help and expand their reality through helping others. And that's where I found myself, and I had to change my perception of my base chakra of, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be this. Not saying that I don't want to be it, but when you close your base chakra into the materialistic wants so much, your third eye suffers. Your sixth chakra, your intuition, your connection with your inner guidance suffers. You lack mental clarity. You lack the vision, the intuition. You can't meditate, first of all, because The information, remember, it's as above so below. So the information coming from your divine self is going down to your base chakra, and the information coming from your base chakra is connected to the planet Earth. And depending on who you are, the planet Earth has many, the planet Earth itself has chakras, centers of energy itself. So depending on where you are in your reality, you're attracting, that which is either for you or not for you in that element. So you have to be careful of what you're thinking of, what you're desiring, what you're wanting, because it will come to you, but it might come in a way where it's not so beneficial to you. I'll speak more on this as I dig deeper into the chakras, but that's the connection with the third eye. You have to really be protective of your third eye and your intuition, because you are opening. This is when, in the beginning, I said you can end up suffering from mental illnesses, because you're opening yourself to that realm, that element that we don't see, smell, taste. Our five senses do not work in this world of light. This is spirit now that you're dealing with, and spirit knows that the body needs food, shelter, and clothing, but that's not the main focus of spirit, because spirit also understands that the body lays to rest eventually, and spirit continues on. Like I always say to myself, you don't know who you were before you were born on your birthday, and you don't know who you're going to become when your body lays to rest on your rest day. So you really have to, while you're here breathing this wonderful atmosphere, you have to work on building that spiritual stamina, and growing and going forward in a very balanced and healthy and positive manner. Which brings us to our seventh chakra, which is the crown chakra. It's located atop of our head. I think it's about 6 inches above our heads. It's the color violet. Its element is thought. It deals with thought. It connects us with the divine. The issue that you will experience in the seventh chakra deals with inner wisdom and the death of the body. What does that mean? Inner wisdom. When you are saying you're connected to the divine, you literally are connected to God, the universe, mother, divine father, Christ, Krishna, Muhammad, who else? All of these great philosophers that have walked this plane and that have taught the same story, love. You're connected to love, and connection to love leads to inner wisdom. You can't, a lot of people have practiced meditation when dealing with the seven chakras, but in my opinion, before you can meditate, you have to do the work. You have to clean out your gutters. You have to gut yourself and sit and do those lists of things you like about yourself, things you don't like about yourself, the evil stuff that has happened to you that you are not yet healed from, steps to getting to. It's a lot of work. I don't advise anyone to just hop into spirituality and chakra work without really looking at yourself and dealing with who you are. Like, there's a lot of us who have so much pain and suffering within ourselves that we really, if we really got to working on them, we'd be shocked by how much weight we carry around on a daily basis. So before you start climbing that ladder to get to the higher chakras, focus on the base chakra, focus on the sacral chakra, especially the sacral chakra, because once you reach the crown chakra, you have now opened yourself. Now, the scary part about the seventh chakra, remember, you're connected to the divine. Depending on who you are, you might be connecting to the divine's light or darkness. You might be connecting to the divine's good side or bad side. You might be connecting to the divine's yin or yang. You understand? So when you take those things into consideration, if you have done all the work, you climb up that chakra ladder, you're in the seventh chakra, and you're face to face with some darkness, with some negativity, with some evil, that is who you are. That is that part of you that is connected to the divine. The divine is totality. The divine is universal. The divine is complete. So the divine has good and bad sides. The divine has light and dark. The divine is the sun and the moon and the planets. You understand? So you have to be very careful when you're dealing with the crown chakra, in other words. Now, death of the body. What does that mean? Um, Two sides to one coin. Death of the body could mean understanding that we are not the body, understanding that one day your essence will leave the body and the body will lay to rest and be reconnected to the planet, which is what it's naturally a part of, right? And death of the body can also mean death of desires, death of physical, emotional, sexual desires that we all have ongoing, right? So these are the things you need to understand. Are you taking the death of your body on a holistic manner in understanding that one day I will no longer be on this plane? Are you someone who expresses your brokenness or your traumas in a very addictive manner? And you should understand that death of the body means that all those things that you've been doing to cope with reality, you have to cut them off in order to connect to the true divine being, right? Once you balance your seventh chakra, you release your karma. Whatever your karmic debt is, I will make a video regarding karmic debt once I make the videos regarding numerology and colorology, because I really want to dig into this so you can understand. Like I said, life is fun regarding if you're enjoying it or not. I won't get into that. I need to finish this video. And physically, the seventh chakra deals with meditation, where a lot of us would try to meditate from the base chakra. I don't suggest meditating until you've done all your work and you've reached the crown chakra in a very positive place, in a light place, where if you sit quietly in a room, even though your mind might be racing, even though you might not be too at ease, you're still connected to who you are, and you understand that you are connected to something greater than you, and you have the power to communicate with this being. Mentally, the seventh chakra deals with the universal consciousness, which is what we call God or the divine, or all those good names that we give it. Emotionally, the seventh chakra deals with beingness, the ability to be. No social media, no TV, no noise, nothing. The ability to just be like the wind that's blowing outside, or the sun that's shining for those 12 hours during the day, or the moon that's glistening those 12 hours in the evening, or that flower that's slowly blossoming because spring is on its way. The ability to be. You only find out who you are to be once you've done all the work of the lower six chakras. And spiritually, the seventh chakra connects us to unity and transcendence. Don't go overboard when you hear the word transcendence. Spirituality, remember, in the top three chakras, the fifth, sixth, and seventh, we're not too much dealing with the physical needs of reality. We're dealing more with the ethereal needs of reality. So when you hear the word transcendence, the movie Transcendence might pop up, or Lucy might pop up. Don't go crazy with words. Just focus on how you feel. Transcendence can mean that. Transcendence can simply mean, like myself, that shy little girl who's from a third world country, who was raised in a poor city in America, who despised being in America her whole life because life in America for a little black girl was not kind, and therefore she had to work and re-understand her place in this reality in order to not always associate her connection to reality with the pains, the growing pains of being quote unquote a little black girl in America. That was transcendence for me, because as a woman now, I can walk out into the world and be free and liberated and understand that the problems of this world have nothing to do with me. They existed prior to the year I was born. You know, they've always been here. We are all doing our part to work to help to literally transcend them to something new. Think of it that way. Connect spirituality with your everyday existence. Don't separate spirituality over here and your career or job or college courses or high school courses or life or relationship over here. Connect them, because they are one. We are mind, body, and spirit, and more. So I'm going to end this here because I feel like I've talked a lot. You can rewind this. I would rewind this and listen to it a few times, take some notes. I'm going to do my best with the visuals to make sure that I really make the visuals in a way that keeps you focused, so even if I'm rambling, you can get the information visually. But guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna try. I have a lot of notes. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of months. I've been taking notes and writing some things down. The next video will be about healing the 7 chakras, because in this video I kind of gave you the breakdown, what they represent and the issues with them. So the next video we're going to start the process of healing. And I also have this other video that I've already made, which I'm not posting yet because I want to finish with the 7 chakras before I post it. It's dealing with the how the 7 chakras affect we as black people, black men and women in this world, from the time we're children until the day we die. So look out for that. And thank you. Tell a friend, tell someone you love. I do my best to express the information in a way that's universal, that can be understood. So thank you so much for listening. I won't let 2020 end without me getting on video. I kind of promise. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your day. Take care, guys.